better one a little bit later, Sean.
Yeah, it took a little while to get going, John. You could probably sense he wasn't exactly 100%, but eventually he drained one, and from there he was all the way home, mate.
I talked to his team manager, Sean Ward, and he actually stuck exactly to the game plan, sitting right where he wanted to. He wanted to get this quick jam off, and then he set up this big rotator. Conditions stay like this, he can still be very deadly, Poncho.
Yeah, definitely. He's so dangerous in the barrel and out on the open face, with that air game. Whoever he surfs against is really going to have to bring it. They're going to have to, we thought that maybe Travis should have stuck to his backhand. He's got a very lethal vertical backhand snap, but guys when you're surfing against guys like John, sometimes you can take it out of your game plan.
And then we saw Travis working on the lefts. The thing was, John was carrying about a 3 range score as his backup, so I think they just didn't like the consistency with scoring potential. We went on to the next heat. Gabriel Medina really started things off well against Brett Simpson.
Yeah, for sure. Both these guys set up on that right-hander just to the north of the contest area. But you can see even Gabby had a few troubles linking turns here yesterday, and the waves were so straight that that's eventually what caused us to call the day off.
So this one here was the last heat yesterday. Gabriel Medina taking out Brett Simpson. Brett did have a chance at the end. He went for a big punt, but just came a little bit close to landing it, ended up falling out the back.
Yeah, two very inventive, innovative surfers, and Gabe Medina obviously leading the pack, but Brett Simpson can hold his own. So close to stomping a big forehand air, which may have turned the heat, and that would have been a huge upset here at the Rip Curl Pro.
We saw Medina finish this one on the inside section, and one thing you noticed, Toby, this kid stayed in the lineup and really excited the crowd here in Peniche.
I haven't seen that before at a pro surfing event that I've attended, where the event has been called off, and Gabe pretty much single-handedly entertained 2,000 people that stayed to watch him free surf and landed one of the most amazing aerials, 6-7 feet high, in about ankle-deep water. It was a phenomenon, and the crowd just went into a rapture.
A guy like Medina feeding off the crowd. Why would you get out in a place like Super Tubes? The crowd stayed, and we look at Brett Simpson on screen. He had a couple of moments here on these rights, came really, really close, and kept things interesting at the end.
Yeah, you kind of felt for Brett a little bit. He's actually surfed a really good event and looked really clinical out there. Surfed the heat about as well as the waves allowed, but just had the misfortune of running into the Gabby train.
And he just hasn't been able to punch through that round this year. He's been ultra consistent in the 13th round, but hasn't been able to push through and get a 9th or a 5th.
As we check out just some quick surfing from Travis Logie. Look how short this ride was. That's what the guys were dealt with, and I think Taj Burrow went over to Damian Hardman. They kept talking about conditions, and they're like, you know what, let's wait a little bit longer before we continue this round.
Yeah, that wave of Travis said it all, and he had to squeeze 2 turns in before the thing closed out. A lot of straight-handers here yesterday, and that forced contest director's hand, and we called the rest of the day off.
Well, they kind of made a big point, Poncho. It's sometimes when guys are thinking about the draw and what's to come, maybe they'll make their decision on whether they want to surf, depending on who their opponent is.
Yeah, definitely. When you take your opponent's strengths into consideration, you may want to get in Damian's ear as early as possible and try to have a little influence on the call.
Especially like a kid like Gabriel Medina throwing big rotators like that one. Round 4, heat number 1, is already looking to be a pretty exciting one. John Florence, Gabriel Medina, and then they'll be joined by the winner of Taj Burrow and Kolohe Andino.
Yeah, I guess if you put Kolohe in there, it's the ushering in the new generation, isn't it? And that'd be super exciting. But TB, well, he started the trend, so either one of those guys will not look out of place, and that is going to be an absolute bottler.
You see these little lefts that we had yesterday. The sun stayed out, and these guys kept free surfing, but it was still pretty small. Big rotations like this are incredible. That slob inverted reverse that Medina has is a pretty big role in his game. He had the 10 the other day, and he still looks like he could be a big spoiler in this event to really affect the world title race.
Yeah, for sure. Here's a replay of Simpo as well. Simpo actually had a shot at winning this.
Yeah,
this could have been the last wave he punched.
Yeah, this was that final wave. He started out strong and eyed this section up from a long way away.
That's
huge
a huge
full rotation there. He actually stomps it and just doesn't come out cleanly. If he would have stayed out in front of the whitewater there, there's a really good chance he would have gotten the score, and it would have been a huge upset.
A tough one there for Brett. Has he had this chance, got that big blast to start. It was setting up to be a good ramp on the inside section. This guy does this in Huntington Beach all the time, and he knew he could bring this to the table against Gabe Medina. Doesn't get any closer than this. Super ramp right there, tail high. perfect rotation and came so close, Toby.
Yeah, he lands that, he gets the score.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, he had it 95%, but it's got to be completed, and you just wonder in the back of